Hello students and parents of Timberlane. I'm Principal Don Woodworth, and along with the other members of the administrative team, I'd like to give you a glimpse of what school will look like when you return on September 8th. For starters, this year, whether you are attending high school as a member of one of the cohorts or as a fully remote student, there will be many changes you can expect. With the video, we expect to answer some frequently asked questions and give you an idea of what things will look like here in the building.
Let's start with how the day will begin. For all students, whether you are in person or remote, school will begin at 7:20 a.m. and end at 2:10 p.m. Social distancing will be followed, even on the buses. There will be a limit of 15 students per bus. With the cohort model, there will be enough parking for all juniors and seniors to have a parking spot. Please park in your assigned spot when you arrive on campus. If you're going to carpool, please follow CDC guidelines, which suggest all members of the carpool group wear masks in the car. This is important. Once you arrive at school, you must wear a mask at all times throughout the day.
Most students will arrive at school before the 7:20 start time. Please enter the school using the entrance closest to your bus or car. Students should report directly to their first period class upon entering the building. Wandering the halls and congregating in any part of the building will not be permitted.
Students who arrive after 7:20 will still need to check in with the front office. There will be no passes given out to late students. Students will be on the honor system and are expected to report directly to wherever it is they need to go. If you are a junior or a senior and you have a first or last block study, you may arrive late and leave early. You will still need to check in and out of the building.
Hello, Owls. Let's talk a little bit about how we'll move around the building. Hallways and classrooms will look very different as well. Remember, there will not be 1,000 people in the building. It will only be 400, so right off the bat, you'll notice the difference. The hallways will be one way only. Please follow the arrows on the floor. It may take you a few extra seconds to get from place to place, but this will help us keep our distance as we move throughout the building. Here are some things you can expect once you are in class.
We will be following social distance guidelines in our classrooms, and all desks will be 6 feet apart. You must wear your mask at all times while in class. You can drop your mask to eat or take a sip of water, but you must put it back on when you are done. Most of your assignments will be online using Google Classroom, so we can limit the distribution and exchange of paper. Please make sure your Chromebook is charged and ready to go. At the end of each class, students will be wiping down their work areas. Each classroom will have supplies to carry this out. Students are expected to go directly from one class to another and not congregate in the halls.
Moving around the building and lunches will look different as well.
When moving through the hallways, please try your best to keep your distance. Also, it is important to continue to wear your mask so it covers both your nose and mouth. It is also important throughout the day to wash your hands and use hand sanitizer whenever you can. Each class will have hand sanitizer, and there are over 30 hand sanitizer stations in the hallways and in high traffic areas, such as offices, the library, and the cafeteria. Lockers will not be assigned this year, so make sure you have a backpack if you need one. Students are encouraged to bring their own refillable water bottles. There are 5 refilling water fountains in the building, and they will only be used for refilling. The lunchroom will not look the same this year. Social distancing will be practiced at all times in the cafeteria. Please try to maintain social distancing while in line. If you sit at a desk in the cafeteria, you can turn your desk any way you'd like, but the chair must stay above the dot on the floor. During days when the weather permits, the courtyards in the front and middle of the school will be open for seniors. During inclement weather, we will be using rooms 614 and 412 for seniors. Social distancing will be followed in these spaces as well.
Here's some information for our fully online students, online days for the cohort students, and our fully online day on Wednesdays.
All students will have access to Google Classrooms for all courses. Please be sure to accept those invitations. Fully remote students are expected to be in each class via Zoom and will follow the same class schedule as students in the building. Attendance of remote students will be taken for each class. For remote students, if you are going to be absent for any reason, you must still have a parent call in to verify your absence. If you are a remote student, you will still have access to sports, clubs, and after-school activities. If you are a remote student, you will still have access to in-person CTE programs.
You will still have access to the nurse's office, school counselors, and the library throughout the day. For school counselors in the library, you will need to make an appointment. Again, there will be no passes this year. So if you leave your classroom to go to the nurse, you're expected to go directly to the nurse's office and then directly back to your classroom. As always, if you feel sick when you wake up, please stay home. The end of the day will look different as well.
When school is out for the day, students must leave the building unless they are participating in an organized school activity. There will be no late buses this year. If you are leaving school after the third block, you must leave the building unless you have a specific appointment or have scheduled time in the library. There will be no after-school detentions this year.
As we have said all along, school will look very different for all of us this year. Every step of the way, we are focused on the safety of our students and staff, and we will be following all CDC guidelines along the way. We will need to be fluid and flexible and ready to change course whenever new information comes out.
We know that many students and families are nervous and anxious about this school year, but we know that our staff, families, and students will demonstrate the self-discipline, mutual respect, and care for others by following the requirements put in place to help us all be safe and successful here in our school. Timberlane Nation is strong, and we will get through this together.
So, as you can see, this year will be very different. What will not change is that as Owls, we expect to always offer our best, work cooperatively, live responsibly, and speak and act respectfully. We look forward to seeing you all very soon for the start of another great school year.